Hello, Leo. Welcome. Thank you for being here. This is going to be a general read for maybe dealing with. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel, THEYRE Tarot. She's read for you as well. Thank you. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay. Talk about some energy. Talk about some energy, Crosswatcher. That is something else. That is something else. Oh my goodness. Kind of interesting energy. The first message that comes through is, unfortunately, Leo, kind of like back the hell up. I don't know what that is, but that is, it's not a real, not a real warm and fuzzy friendly energy, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. Okay. That's energetically speaking, yeah, well, there's justice. Energetically speaking, they're sitting at a, I guess just jumping into this, energetically speaking, Leo, they're sitting at a red light. And they, have you ever seen, what's that called? I forget, with, was it a movie or film with Russell Crowe? And I forget what the film or the movie was called, but it was about road rage. And one of the, spoiler alert, one of the lines or the scenes in that movie is like, oh, you think you're having a bad day. And the rest of the movie is just this guy going, just seeing red, just rage throughout the whole movie, and just road rage. And I forget what it's called. It could be rage. I could be wrong. I mean, that energy is just, that's buried, though. That's a buried and suppressed energy. Yeah. Okay. What is that with you? What is that? Okay, just what is that with you, Leo? Where it's just kind of like, you might want to check yourself. You might want to keep yourself in check. It's one thing to kind of think this way about things. It's another to be this way about things. Everyone has a right to their thoughts, their judgments, their opinions, their emotions, and their feelings. It's when you start acting out these emotions or acting out these thoughts, that's a different story. Look at that red light. Look at that red light. I mean, the wheels and the gears are just spinning, and I don't know what this is. But that world card, there's something going on there between the two of you, Leo, that is just not a good time. It's not a good time. It almost feels like a very spiteful energy. I don't know why or what's going on. But I will say, once again, around you, Leo, there's something specific there about, like, but when it comes to this energy, you kind of want to keep your mind and keep your emotions in check. I don't know what that is. It's almost kind of like, now play nice. Like, straighten your shit out, in other words. Straighten your shit out, get your shit together. Act right. Act right. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. how do I say this? But even though they know this about you, Leo, it still doesn't stop them. And it's like, okay. Crosswatcher, that's you kind of saying you don't know what to do with yourself. So let's just say, for the sake of the example, you're in the car, you're sitting at a red light. It's just you and your thoughts, you and your thoughts, you and your thoughts, you and your thoughts, and everything you gotta get, you and your thoughts and everything you gotta do and take care of and be responsible for. And then on top of that, everything going on between you and Leo. And then it's just kind of like you're swirling. You're swirling. And that's where you can see the wheels and the gears just turning and spinning. The Five of Cups. Like I said, whatever this is between the two of you, clearly there's something going on. I mean, you are important to them, Leo. It's just, why do they gotta, I don't understand that, Crosswatcher. Why do you gotta, how do I say this? Why you gotta be that way? Why you gotta be that way? This is like someone's injured pride or ego. There's the Devil. Like I said, someone's injured pride or ego. What did you expect? What did you expect, Crosswatcher? I'm surprised I'm not looking at that drama energy. What'd you expect? Like you do this, and then it's like you show up in that Five of Cups afterwards. Like, what'd you expect? What'd you expect? That's like, and unfortunately, like I said, control, restraint. Like I said, thinking it is one thing, feeling it is one thing, doing it, it's the act. That's what I'm looking at, as the act of whatever this is. And then it's kind of like, well, there it is. There's the consequences to whatever that is, Crosswatcher, between you and Leo. And I have no idea what that is. And now, unfortunately, it's kind of like, what do you expect? What do you expect? And unfortunately, it turns into that Devil energy too, where it's just like, unfortunately, it gets slightly worse. There's a Seven of Swords. Now they're kind of strategizing and trying to piece this together. Unfortunately, in that Devil energy. That's a lot of mental, Crosswatch. That is a lot of mental. That's kind of like over-analysis, overthinking, but unfortunately in the wrong way, Leo, in the wrong way. Unfortunately, Crosswatch, that, like I said, that you don't know what to do with yourself, and so you're just mentally spinning. There you are, Leo. Were you listening, Leo? Or were you paying attention to the woman in the red dress? Seeing red. Seeing red. Yeah, you call that a, you know, kind of like a burnout, crashing out. Um, that's pressure. That devil energy is pressure with that Seven of Swords. It's pressure. Racing. So much mental and emotional racing, then it turns into that Seven of Cups of what do they actually want? What do they actually want? Huh? More specific, that is third party, cross watcher. That is third party. Well, all right then. That's crystal clear. What you're saying is not necessarily what do you want, you're saying who. So in that Seven of Cups, that's where that third party energy shows up. Unfortunately, Leo, bad news. What do they want? Who do they want? That is a clear thing of like whatever's going on is like not worth it. Immediately I'm gonna kind of just monkey on branch and swing on over to somebody else. I don't know if that's like, you know, someone looking for a quickie, a rebound. Yeah, Crosswatch, you're bouncing around. You're bouncing around all over the place, and like once again, I don't understand why you're. That's a rebound. That's a quickie. Whatever this is between you and Leo, you're like, to hell with Leo. It's too much trouble. It's too much hassle. It's just so that they've kind of energetically burnt themselves out and spent themselves energetically. And then it's almost kind of like they go back to themselves, like, well, what are they? It's weird. They go back to themselves, like, what am I actually doing with myself? What am I actually doing with myself? But then for some reason, between what are they actually doing with themselves, they're still, I don't understand that. They're still kind of like this self-talk or this narrative that they're telling themselves about you, Leo. And it's just kind of like, what? Like, is it a breakup, a split up, a divorce? Are you still like working through it? Because whatever this is, it's like I'm looking at a hookup, I'm looking at quickie, I'm looking at flings, I'm looking at you're out there considering other people, Crosswatcher. But while you're out there considering other people, you're still mentally talking about Leo and you're still mentally working through all these things about you and Leo. But I'm looking at that world card right away from this, you know, the start of this reading. I guess they're still working through it, Leo. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's why that Three of Swords shows up. Because whatever this is, Crosswatcher, You've disconnected. You've disconnected. Whatever's going on between you and Leo, you've disconnected. So whatever the, let's just say, arrangements, so what's your business with Leo? Whatever the arrangements are moving forward between you and Leo, you're like, and now there's problems there. It's just kind of like problems after problems after problems. It's like, well, what do you expect, Cross Watcher? If you emotionally check out and you're like, I don't care about you, what makes you think it's going to be easy? Whew, yeah, it gets to such an entanglement where it's unfortunately it's so messy. I'm looking at a messy entanglement. Where it's like you got whatever these issues are going on between you and Leo, which whatever arrangements those are, and then you're out there considering other people, and it's kind of like it's energetic entanglement. It's an entanglement, which is weird because Crosswatch, you're emphasizing like um you don't want to deal with it, it's not worth it, but then it's like in the back of your mind you're still dealing with it and you're still going through it. It's like, well, even though you say you don't want to deal with it, even though you say you've emotionally checked out and you don't care, it's like you're still dealing with it. This is like remnants, leftover, unfinished energetic business, healing that needs to take place. I don't know what or who that is. Ooh. I don't know what or who that is. Who is it, Crosswatcher? Out of the 7 of Cups, who is it? Because I don't know who that is. You're like, I'm just trying to get by. Okay. But clearly not alone. You're trying to get by, but clearly not alone. Are you trying to sleep with Leo or are you trying to sleep with a third party? I think that's a third party. I think it's a third party. Um, Yeah, that's kind of like you've kind of like isolated yourself energetically speaking. You've isolated yourself. I don't know why you show me that. Okay. Huh. who is it that you still think that, like, who is it that you still think that you can have like everything with? And what I mean everything, I'm not looking at like, happy relationship, all this love, happy family, whatever it is. No, you're saying everything. Money. Everything, Crosswatcher. What is that? Ooh. I don't understand that. That's a different energy. Jeez Louise. Control. Like I said, the way that this starts out is control, and unfortunately, it does end up in that tower, Crosswatcher. It does. I feel like for some reason, your attempt, this whole reading, this attempt to control, that is just something else. Control, postpone, prolong, string along, whether it's Leo, whether it's the other person, whether it's a group or community, whatever it is, whoever it is. Once again, seeing red. I don't know what that's about, Leo, but seeing red, and not in a good way. And it's kind of like, okay. Once again, getting to a point where how long can they keep doing to themselves? How long can they kind of keep putting themselves in this energy or in this mindset? Like I said, out of pride and out of ego. So their lesson to learn with that tower, unfortunately. I guess they just won't stop. So unfortunately, life is having to step in and be like, "Lynn, fine, we'll stop you for you." Don't know. We'll see where this goes. Goodbye.